Hi, welcome to my 2025 home workspace store. I've been meaning to make this video for a while, but honestly, my setup has never felt ready. It always feels like a work in progress, but you know what? I figured I'll just show you what I've got so far anyway. This is not a Pinterest perfect setup. It's my creative space. It's where I make videos, build projects, work, and spend most of my time. Let me show you the gear and the little details that actually make it work for me. The heart of my setup is an electric seat stand desk by FlexiSpot. I got it from Amazon about 3 years ago, and I opted for the black tabletop because it made sense at the time, and I have no regret. I love the color and it worked for me so far. It has 4 programmable height preset buttons, but I only really used 2. It goes as high as 118cm and as low as 73.5cm. I try to stand 70% of the time I'm working because I realize it helps me increase my focus and productivity. I'm currently using an office chair I got from IKEA, the flint hand chair without the headrest. I switched to this one last year because the whole chair I got on my table was kind of too low for my height. A problem that people that are 6 foot tall or more can probably relate to. But the irony is, I've been using the whole chair and my secondary desk more lately. One lesson I've learned so far is buy it once and buy it well, because the one thing I regret not paying top dollar for is a proper ergonomic chair. I still feel something is missing when it comes to the 2 chairs I have. So next on my wish list is an Miller chair. Maybe I'll do an update video when that finally happens. There's also a secondary work area with an IKEA table and my whole chair. I use this when I want a simpler setup, when I'm doing some focused work on my laptop only, or I'm switching from work to personal project or content editing in the evenings. It's the same white table you've probably seen in some of my previous videos. My main monitor is a 34-inch ultrawide by Electric. I actually didn't buy this one, it came as part of my home office setup from work. I probably have to return it if and when I leave the company, but for now, the screen real estate is amazing for productivity. My secondary monitor is a 27-inch Dell HD monitor I bought back in Nigeria in 2021. And yes, I carried all the way to the UK when I moved. Was it worth it? Well, I don't know, considering that I can buy a better one for less than 100 quid on eBay if I want. The 2 monitors are mounted on the table with the InVision dual monitor arm from Amazon as well. I'll leave a link to all these items in the description below. On top of my main monitor, I have a BenQ Screen Bar Pro, which illuminates my desk area. The brand sent this to me last year to review. It automatically adjusts to the room and also senses my presence to go off or on, which is quite cool. I'm the kind of person who uses a budget webcam from Amazon for video calls. Though it sometimes struggles with exposure, especially during bright summer days or gloomy winter evenings. When paired with a soft box, it gets the job done. Yes, I use 2 MacBooks. Sound extra, right? Yes, let me explain how it works for me. The 14-inch M2 Pro with 32GB RAM and 1TB SSD, that is my personal machine for content creation and personal projects. I bought this used earlier this year after I got frustrated with the increasing demand for video editing and other workflows on my then 8GB M1 MacBook Pro. Then I have my work laptop, an M2 16GB RAM MacBook Air provided by the office. I've had this for almost 3 years now, and it gets the job done for me, from day to day. Though it sometimes struggles when I'm running multiple VS Code windows, Chrome, and emulators. This separation of concern helps me with work-life balance, 9 to 5 stuff on my work laptop and 5 to 9 stuff on my personal laptop. Everything on the desk runs through a USB-C Dell docking station supplied by work. It's docked under my desk. One single cable from it powers my entire setup. I'd rate my cable management as decent, not perfect, but not a spaghetti mess either. For my keyboard, I'm rocking the Nufi S75, the Verse version. It's my first mechanical keyboard ever. It's a sleek, low-profile wireless mechanical keyboard. I bought it 2 years ago and I absolutely love it, being my first mechanical keyboard. It makes typing a joy. I also have a Keychron K2, which I got as a gift from my wife's cousin. I used it for about 2 months straight, and I sometimes switch to it when I want. The little downside is the battery life isn't as great as the S75, so I use it in wired mode. For the mouse, I use the highly recommended Logitech MX Master 3S. While I love the ergonomic design, I feel like I don't maximize it with all the custom mapping for different apps. It's capable of using the Logitech app. Maybe one day I'll get around to setting it up properly. We'll see. To hold some of my workspace essentials like my printer, camera gear, books, and travel memorabilia, I use this simple shelf from Amazon. At some point, I need to make this better with lights and yes, more plans. But for now, it works. For extra storage, I've got an IKEA cabinet. Not my first choice, but it works and it doubles as an extension of my desk. Sometimes I even place plants on it when setting up the space to record content. I love how plants had a bit of life and color to the room. And this fiddle leaf fig and Kentia palm are my absolute favorites. I love the pilliard too. It was very small when we got it in Newcastle at Church Home Group. It's been cool to see it grow to this size. I move them around a lot to position them in the spot I want for the content I'm recording, to match the vibe I want in the room, or for some sunshine on sunny days. Although, full disclosure, my wife does most of the plant care. I'm just here for the aesthetics. Thanks, babes. Lighting is one area I still need to improve. Right now, to improve the space ambience, I have the following: a USB-powered RGB strip around the desk, an RGB corner lamp scheduled to come on in the evenings, a BenQ screen bar for desk area lighting, and a softbox I use when filming content or joining meetings in the evening. They make the room more functional for content creation and work, and I rarely use the big light in the room, except when I'm searching for something. For audio, for casual music listening when working and general meetings when I'm not talking, I use a Google Nest speaker on my desk. For team meetings, I use a budget headset from Amazon, and surprisingly, the mic quality is better than I expected. And since my wife basically stole my Sony XM4 headphone, I've been using my Pixel buds on most days as well. I'm thinking of buying the Sony XM4 again because I'm not falling for that Sony buy the latest to get the best quality agenda. I believe the XM4 is just perfect. This room is not just about productivity, it is also where I recharge. I've been trying to get back into music lately, so I've got my bass guitar and amp right there. I try to rehearse twice a week, and I love the fact that I can be listening to something and I just come to this room, grab the guitar to practice the bass line. Some other things worth talking about in this workspace is the sofa bed I got from Facebook Marketplace. It's perfect for a quick lunchtime nap, another area for work, and doubles as a guest bed during the rare 1 or 2 times a year when we have a guest over. There's also the printed photos on the wall, which reminds me I can just be creative if I want to. The frames are from Amazon, and I took these photos last year in Corfu and Milan. And there's my tennis racket as well. My Thursday evening routine is basically logging off work, grabbing my racket, and heading to the park. So yeah, that's my 2025 home deck setup. It's a blend of work, content studio, and creative space. I like the idea of having a dedicated space where I can be inspired and do amazing work. I've linked most of the gears I mentioned in the description, so check them out if you're interested in any of them. If you made it this far, thank you. And if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments which part of the setup you like the most. Or check out one of my latest videos. I'll link them below. I'm Rufus, and I make videos about tech, creativity, and lifestyle. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.